Hello everybody, James at Lingero here again, and today I thought we would come back to our series on what would ICAO levels 3, 4 and 5 sound like if they were levels in French. So we've done pronunciation, we've done structure, so now we're going to have a little look at vocabulary. So, let's go. Dans cette photo, nous pouvons voir un pilote qui a craché sur la verge. Je pense que sa colonne de contrôle était collée et qu'il ne pouvait pas déplacer l'avion. Il va devoir hurler les hommes de feu pour qu'ils viennent le prendre dehors. So in this example, we have a few kind of common traits of level 3 or maybe even level 2 vocabulary use, whereby we often see words which simply do not exist, or words where the person has tried to take a word from their native language and then kind of just reproduce it in the other language because it sounds a bit similar. So for example, when the guy says le pilote a craché sur la verge, what he's trying to say is that he's crashed on a grass verge, as of the word verge in English generally denotes a grass area. And obviously, whereas he should have said l'avion s'est écrasé or le pilote s'est craché, he ended up saying a craché because he made the link between the word crash and cracher, which obviously doesn't have the same meaning in French, and obviously the word verge in French doesn't mean anything to do with grass areas. And then we had les hommes de feu. Les hommes de feu, quite simply because firemen in English. So if you don't know the term, you might be tempted to do a kind of a literal translation. Et pour qu'ils me prennent dehors, in the sense of so that they can take me out. So if I don't know how to say to take me out, or me sortir de l'avion, or m'extriquer de l'avion, but in this case, I've just taken the word I know and I've tried to create something vaguely clear in the target language. But obviously, when you've got constant use of wrong or non-existent words, that's generally when we tend to push towards a level 3 rather than a level 4 in vocabulary. Sur cette photo, nous pouvons regarder la fin de l'aile d'un avion. Je pense que l'avion a été dommagé par une collision. L'avion a atterri sur sa bedaine aussi. C'est un avion rouge registré aux États-Unis. So here we again have some wrong word choice influenced by the first language. But the word choice is not so bad as to make it difficult to understand, because the roots of the words are quite similar, and the meaning, it's slightly impeded because you have to think a second to think what the guy is trying to say. So for example, dommager instead of endommager, la fin de l'aile instead of le bout d'aile, but these are things that in your head, if you hear them, they're not precise, but you know what the person is trying to say. Again, the same thing with the use of the word bedaine, atterrissage sur la bedaine instead of sur le ventre. Again, la bedaine is the wrong kind of register. Bedaine in French is like a beer gut, like you might say in English. And again, for the word registré instead of immatriculé, we still know, if we hear the word registré, even though it's not an actual word, you kind of still understand what it means because it has some link to reality. So the clear difference here is where there might be some influence of the first language on word choice, but we are still able to make out what the person is saying, even if we have to think about it on a couple of occasions when they're speaking. Sur cette photo, on voit une grosse queue qui touche la piste. C'est la queue d'un Airbus 380. Cette situation peut être provoquée par une vitesse trop lente. Pour escaper à cette situation, le pilote doit pousser son bâton pour éviter un décrochement. So in the last example, we have a sort of a level 5 use of vocabulary. So there's not an awful lot wrong with it, just a couple of problems with the register being used. So instead of saying la grande queue d'un Airbus 380, we've used the term la grosse queue being a little bit more of a kind of a familiar register. And we also have le pilote doit pousser sur son bâton. Bâton meaning the stick. So obviously a bâton in French is not the same kind of stick which you would use in an aeroplane, which you should call un manche rather than un bâton, but you still understand what he means. And there was un décrochement instead of un décrochage, but using the wrong word ending from time to time doesn't really interfere with the overall message. So there we have, again, another example of what the ICAO levels 3, 4 and 5 might sound like if they were levels in French. I hope you found the video interesting. It's always fun making these little videos, sharing thoughts with the community, and always happy to read your feedback and comments, etc. In any case, safe flights to all. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.